Huberman, David Sinclair. You've talked about this support system these grifters have for the extreme statements of other grifters. What do you mean by that?
There's this game, yes and. Improv comedians will play where you start off with a crazy statement. I met a magic duck on the walk today. And then the other comedian will say, yes, and he talked about alien abductions. And then the next person will, yes, and my uncle was abducted by aliens. So you always build. You always say yes, and then you add to the story, and it gets to be a crazy, fun story. And influencers in the Griftoverse are all playing that game, except it's not funny. I have a crazy idea. I'm Dave Asprey. I'm into bulletproof coffee. It will make my brain smarter. That's his grift. Maybe he goes on Huberman's podcast, and Huberman's like, yeah, I've also found that my cognition gets better with resveratrol, or whatever it is he's coming up with. And then they agree that, oh yeah, we're both on the better brain side of things. And they go on all of the others' podcasts, and then you get this ecosystem of products that are all talking to each other and funding these people. But you can't go on another person's podcast and be like, no, your bulletproof coffee is bullshit. It doesn't do anything to raise your cholesterol and actually makes your brain worse. You can't do that because there's no incentive to keep on playing the yes and game. So you find that skeptics don't get access to those platforms of the other influencers. And so you see this hierarchy where the people who have the largest fan bases are also the ones with the most money to promote their podcasts. And so we have this yes and culture right across social media.